Line up, you fucking nerds. Who wants a shot at the champ?
They bring the heat.
Francis Ngannou is the hardest puncher in the history of fighting.
They bring the knowledge.
If you think this fight is going 5 rounds, you are out of your mind.
They bring you the picks.
The dog is getting it done in this one.
We deliver every single week. We're bringing the heat, ladies and gentlemen.
The money line.
Don't miss it on the MMA Experts channel each week. The boys are back. The boys are back. Really, we were here last week, but it wasn't an official breakdown, so it didn't feel like the same show. We're here, Moneyline. We're talking UFC Vegas 80. I'm looking forward to it. AJ joined, as always, by my guy, Mike Finch. What's happening, my friend?
I'm good. I got my friend Marcel over. We've been at the Pacific Air Show here in Huntington Beach. We had the former President Trump fly by in his Trump plane. We had a solid weekend over here in Huntington. And the Pacific Air Show is like my favorite thing all year. So can you see all the sun I've got, dude? I'm a little burnt.
You look like you've been tanning, bro. You've been going outside a lot, man.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I'm trying to use the cream. The wife says use the lotion. You know, we got to keep young. I teach a kids class, right? So it was my 31st birthday. I told the kids, hey, it's my birthday. They said, how old are you? I said, guess. They said 25. I said 31. They said, well, you look 25. I was like, yeah.
That's great. That's great.
So I'm still holding it down, folks. All right. Make sure after that sun hits you, put that lotion on. You're going to be A1.
Listen, let's go. I'm going to follow suit, man. But we do got some super chats to bring up. We got Michael Bowman's $20 dono from Mrs. Bowman, Allison here. Mike had a few bad reactions from surgery and caught sepsis. Once they move him to a regular room, no phone in ICU, he will reach out. Tell AJ in chat, all our love, Allison. Well, Mrs. Bowman, I'm glad to hear that he is on his road to recovery. Definitely disappointed to hear he's having some complications, but all love to Michael Bowman. Still dropping the dono in chat from Mrs. Bowman herself. Love to the family from us here at MMA Experts in the Money Line.
Yeah, love to the Bowmans, spreading good energy to you guys. I hope you guys feel this good energy back because Michael Bowman, you're always putting good energy here. We appreciate you. All the best, man.
All the best to Michael Bowman. We got a second one because, you know, we weren't live when they dropped it. Did my super chat work? Allison, absolutely it worked. We're bringing it up right away. And we got all love to Michael Bowman. Big W's for the Bowman family in the chat. Wish him well. Send him the good vibes. You know, he's making his road back. And we'll see Bowman, you know, in chat doing his thing normally once he's fully recovered. Much love to Michael Bowman and the fam. Thank you for the 5. Really, thank you for the 25. It means a ton to us here. And next one, this dono is very interesting. Nate Brown throws me $2 and he says, AJ, why no memberships? Reason I don't do the membership yet is simply because I have not offered a specific premium type of content that I feel would be somewhat required of me if I decide to go down the membership route. Right now, I'm a little bit influxed with having to do Contender Series every Monday after this. I don't know. Maybe a hypothetical idea it's come to me is like an after Moneyline show. I do an after live for members only. I don't know. Something like that. Definitely potentially in the works. I do want to get the members thing going. Not so much even for the revenue side of things. More just so you guys can feel more tight-knit in the community with your little MMA Experts flat cap or something like that on the screen. So, yes, that is why Nate Brown. But, yeah, it's definitely in my mind. And I will take the steps to get there.
I think MMA Experts merch is next, right? I mean, MMA Experts merch. We need something, AJ. Come on. I'll be at Bellator 300 on Saturday. I could be rocking my MMA Experts
that
shirt.
Would be sick,
We're
right?
fucking up.
I know. We are. No, we are. We are. I need to. Nate Brown, thank you for the 2, my brother. And then we got Megatron with the 199. You both say, I'm worried about saying this for the Canelo W. Okay, let me first translate it because I don't want it to be some profanity. All right. I want to make sure that these words are right. You know what I'm saying?
We could say Viva Mexico. Long live Mexico. All the best to him.
Viva la Mexico. That means the race lives with Viva la Raza. So I guess it's not bad to say. But all right.
He's trying to set you up, man.
Canelo, big W, man. Much love to the Mexicans. They're absolute savages. Canelo specifically. Hey, he's an amazing fucking boxer. Absolutely dominant performance over Charlo. 12 rounds, 10 rounds to 2, pretty much. 11 rounds to 1 on my end. It was a great performance. We appreciate you, Megatron. Hell yeah. And I do want to say something. So for the people that wonder, I was hyping up the new computer. I got the brand new laptop. You guys know I dropped, like $1,300 for that thing. So I was expecting a magnificent machine. Okay. What did I get? An absolute fucking shit box. I don't know what the fuck. OBS Studio on that thing was laggy. If you saw my full card breakdown that I dropped yesterday, I was very irritated with it. You guys don't know. I didn't want to make a big stink about it until I was fucking live and I could talk to you directly about it. I was pissed as hell because that laptop is a massive upgrade, supposedly, from the one that I'm on right now. And the microphone connection, it sounds like I'm in a tin can. I was pissed about that. But I'm still seeing, as I'm looking back on the video, moments where I'm having lag on the camera. And I'm like, for $1,300, that's unacceptable. So I fucking returned that shit. And honestly, I might just buy this exact same laptop that I have and just buy another one. Because for years, this thing did me good. And I'm going to just stick with the old devil that I know, Mike Finch.
I guess. I mean, you could be looking at, we got to talk about, because I don't want to endorse no laptops. I don't have no freaking, I got no bias there. So we'd have to look at it. But I'm sure if you're spending over $1,000, you could do better than that, AJ.
That's what I'm thinking. Another dono in chat. Tiratu Paku, my guy. Thank you for the $5 Australian. Hey, guys. Good to see you. I've been off work and training sick for a week. Keen to get back into it soon. UFC this weekend. Let's go. Let's absolutely fucking go. You don't even understand. When there's not UFC, my life schedule doesn't feel in order. I don't have my daily content. I'm losing
my friends in from Chicago. Shit is loose.
I'm losing it. So I'm glad to have it back too. I'm glad to have everything rolling per usual. And,
AJ, 2 questions in the chat because they called me out. Hey, Finch, I'm 4-1 as an amateur fighter. Would love to spar with you when I'm in town. Hood Jiu-Jitsu.
Where is he?
Always welcome.
Where is
he posted it at 521. Everybody is welcome to come say what's up at UFC Gym Huntington Beach. If you want to work out with me, let me know. I teach classes 3 days a week. And I'm there like 5 or 6 days a week training personal training. So I'm going to work out tonight with my guy Ezra. We're doing leg locks. So it'll be me, the best purple belt I've ever rolled with in my life. And my friend Marcel will be working on body lock passing today too, getting a little jiu-jitsu in. All right, last one. Matt Campbell, below that, AJ. Finch, can we pull up on you at Bellator 300? I need a photo with the GOAT. Yes, come say what's up at Bellator 300. It'll be in San Diego. Unfortunately, today they announced that Linton Vassell is out. Ryan Bader doesn't have a fight, but lucky for you guys, you have other title fights to look forward to, like Ilima-Lei McFarlane challenging for the title against the gorilla Liz Carmouche, like Usman Nurmagomedov defending the title against Brent Primus. It'll be a fun night, and you guys are welcome to say hi. I'll be cage side running around all day. Pull me over. Yeah, definitely get Mike's attention. Say hello. He'll probably pop you on a story. He met Hype MMA in the past in person, and Hype's obviously an OG. So, yeah, man, if you see Finch, tell him what's up. With me, you guys don't even know if I really exist in the real world. Some of these guys haven't seen me anywhere but behind the computer screen. One day, maybe you will, There we go. Come see me in real life, UFC. Folks. I actually exist. Believe it or not, I've hosted the show with AJ for well over a year now. Have never met the guy in real life. Is that not crazy?
I mean,
AJ,
you know me well.
AJ, come on, man.
Yes.
One of these days,
UFC 300, baby.
BKFC or UFC, I like it. I'll be in Vegas.
UFC 300. I'm going to say UFC. I would like, honestly, I got a stream for it. But if I could be cage side with a stream on, I'd be all in.
Right.
I'd be all in.
Right.
We'll see what happens. Listen, at the end of the day, I like the comfort of this chair. I like sitting here watching the fights. I'm a simple man.
I got you. I got you. I got you. Look, if you're a simple man and you want to stay home, I'm coming to visit you in Florida. All right. We're going to make it happen one way or another. AJ's never been to a Bellator event in his life. No. Tragedy. AJ's been to a BKFC. I've been to a BKFC. We'll end up at the same one soon. Maybe Texas.
Texas will be interesting. Listen, if they're flying us out, We can have it. We'll have a talk. Bare knuckle. Bring us to the fights. Listen.
Can you guys imagine a money line in person? AJ and I. We got to set it up. That's our money line 300.
It'd be so funny in person. Like you imagine I'm like completely different on camera.
we're canceling the show now. We don't get along. No, it'll be awesome, dude. We'll make it happen.
It would be sick. We will, people. Guys, we enjoy everybody tuning in and showing love. So make sure you guys smash the like button. Mr. IAT14 AJ looking buzz. Listen, there's no fucking alcohol in the system. I'm sober as Sally is, bro. I feel good. I'm high on life, man. I feel really good. I had a nice workout. I'm fucking grinding and I'm living the dream. Phenoma 369. I sent you $3 on Cash App. I am going to take your word for it without verifying, but thank you for the $3 on Cash App. That's much appreciated. I appreciate that. You sent me 23 covert. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. I'm not verifying anything right now because I don't feel like trying to fucking probably reinstall the app because the thing gets, with the iPhones, they undownload them after enough space goes away. And shit. But I appreciate that. Hopefully it's true. I hope it's true. I appreciate you guys. This is great. UFO though. I got to bring this one up real quick. Registration Relevies 411.
I think 5'3", right, AJ?
5'1", bro.
5'1". Holy shit. You're like Bruno Mars, man.
Yeah, man. I am I'm the same height as what's her name? What's the girl's name that fought last weekend? I don't know. It's escaping me. I'm really not 5'1" though, Finch. I'm just fucking around.
Okay, got you.
Yeah. No, I know. Saw me next to Mike Perry. I'm about Mike Perry's height.
There we go. Got you. All right. You versus Mike Perry. Damn. Fair enough. Yeah, Mike Perry taught AJ how to punch with his knuckles. What show was that on? That was on Deep Cuts.
Deep Cuts. That was crazy.
Check it out.
My hand was fucked up for a while after that. I'm not even going to lie to you.
That's too cool. You got to check it out. Daniel Cover wants to know how tall I am. Online, it says I'm 6 feet tall. It must be true.
6 feet tall? Mike Finch, 6 foot.
It says it on the internet. So we all know everything written on the internet is true.
It is true. Everything on the internet is true. Debate with your teachers about that and whatnot. It's a fact. All right.
I met Randy Couture and I met Tim Sylvia. Not Tim Sylvia. Tim Sylvia is a lot taller. I met Randy Couture and I met Tito Ortiz. Both of them say they're 6'2". Tito's about 3 inches taller than Randy Couture, man. That's funny. Tito is huge.
That's funny.
Which is funny since Randy's the heavyweight, but yeah, for sure. Measuring at the amateur fights, they got me there at 6 foot somehow. 6
foot Finch. Let's get into it. 6 foot Finch. Guys, first fight of the night, we have Montana De La Rosa versus JJ Aldrich. I'm going to go to the bathroom during this real quick.
What the fuck?
I'm fucking around. I'm in a jokey mood, man. All right? Listen, I'm picking Montana De La Rosa. She's younger. I think she's got a higher potential. Skill set wise, I'd say they're similar. I think De La Rosa is going to be a bit better. I don't know. I could see her being physically stronger. Aldrich, Na Leong last time. Okay, Na Leong has a nice record when you look at 19-6, but her skill set is an extremely wild and low fight IQ style. So yeah, Aldrich finished her off. De La Rosa's coming off of a loss to Tatiana Suarez with, at the least, man, she stopped some takedowns. She was able to put up some resistance. I feel like De La Rosa can win this fight against Aldrich. I think she'll take it on the judges' scorecards. Over 2.5 is probably happening.
Yeah, JJ Aldrich is a little too hot and cold, and I think this one might be cold. I would not bet on some of these ladies' fights on this card, though, man. The UFC knows how to matchmake, and it really shows. But, Montana De La Rosa could probably granted a decision here. She's stronger, a little bit of reach on her. I think she'll be able to win 2 out of 3 rounds against the JJ Aldrich in the greatest fight of the year, of course, AJ. Don't you go to the bathroom when this one comes on.
All right, looking at the odds, Montana De La Rosa is a -130 favorite to Aldrich, ranging around +110. But you actually, on some sites, I'm looking at the flip side. I'm looking at actually De La Rosa as a slight dog. So we got to pick 'em fight, depending what book you're at. I think that the side of De La Rosa does win. Now, as far as method of victory, decision, I think the over 2.5 at -400 is extraordinarily likely. And I also think that De La Rosa winning on the judges' scorecards is extraordinarily likely. +150 for that. So give me the side of De La Rosa for the W. If you were to bet it, you're probably money lining it. Women's fight early in the night. I just have a good feeling she's going to win it, even though, like, yeah, it's not, I don't know, it's not a super top level fight, but I think that De La Rosa should beat her. I really do.
All right. Respect it. I'll be skipping that bet, my friend.
Fair. Let's keep
On
running
either
on.
side.
What'd you say, bro?
On either side. I don't want to
Yeah.
bet on either of these.
Yeah, no, I don't blame you. I don't blame you one bit. Next fight on the card, we got Nate Maness versus Mateus Mendonça. This one right here, right? When I look at the matchup, I see Maness as a guy who has a tricky, long skill set, decent punches from the outside. He's pretty quick. I just really got to say that Diego Lima Chute Box team kind of sways me a bit. And then with Mendonça, I mean, he lost to Javid Basharat in his debut. It's not really an awful loss. Basharat brothers, both of them are extraordinarily good and well-rounded. I think that Mendonça could close the gap and give Nate Maness some real troubles in this fight. Now, he's giving up a lot of height, but he's not giving up much in the reach department. I'm picking against Nate Maness, but it's like something I don't love doing. Obviously, if you don't know Mike Finch, early in the channel days, me and Nate Maness chopped it up for an interview. He's like one of my first. So I do like Nate a lot. I would say that I'm a Nate Maness supporter. I just feel like Mendonça's skill set is a little bit concerning with the power Muay Thai, and Maness now dropping back-to-back losses. It's not a fight I'm betting. I'm not touching it. I think that Mendonça is an oversized favorite. I think Nate Maness isn't a terrible underdog here by any stretch of the word, but I think Mendonça beats him.
Yeah. Nate Maness just concedes bottom position a little too easy. Like he'll potentially end up in spots that are going to lose him this decision. And Mendonça, I think I got Mendonça decision on this one. Again, AJ, another one of those fights where good luck being confident in your pick, but Nate Maness has not impressed me, brother.
Listen, man. Listen, I understand, especially after he got ran over by Ulanbekov. I get it. He's got some decent wins earlier on in the run. The activity rate hasn't been great as of late, and it's a relative concern for me. I do got to bring up real quick, Mike, though. We got to talk the chat. We got a dono. Ali Point VTV with the $4.99. Hey. The mother fudging dream team. You guys dropped $2 for my guy, AJ and Mr. Finch. Thank you, Ali Point VTV, for your continuous generosity and the encouragement of generosity. You're a gem, my man. Thank you. We appreciate you, bro.
Ali, you're on point. We appreciate you, brother. Thank you.
Hell yeah. Let's talk about the odds for this fight, Finch. So it's minus 260 for Mendonça, plus 220 Maness. So yeah, I guess the underdog side is interesting for me, even against the pick, because obviously there's a bias towards me thinking Nate Maness is a really good dude. And, it'd be nice to see him catch a W. If there's one fight on the card that I'm fine with being wrong, it's definitely this one here for Nate's sake. Now, as far as betting it, though, it's more than 2-1 dog side. It's just when I watched the tape, I said, fuck, I think Mendonça win. And I had to take out my emotions from it.
I first saw this fight as minus 110 each on MMA Junkie. Like that's where I go and copy my fight cards a lot. And they had this at minus 110. I go check on it, and you're right, 100% minus 270 for Mendonça. So I was picking Mendonça at even odds, but minus 270. Personally, I like other bets.
Yeah, I agree with that. Now, as far as that, bro, a lot of money coming down on him. Because it was minus 110 at open, though. And MMA Junkie had the at open and odds, bro. So it's spread wide. A lot of people like that side. So, hey, Mendonça, the win for both of us as far as the call. We shall see on fight day. Let's keep running up. Next fight on the card, we got the ladies going after it here. Kanako Murata versus Vanessa Demopoulos. I like Murata a lot in this fight, Mike Finch. I think that she is a dangerous woman. She's had a 2-year layoff, but when you look at her loss, it's to a top fighter in the division in Verna Janjudoba. And it's not like she was looking horrible in that fight. She was fairly competitive. Her shoulder absolutely dislocated, and she still wanted to fight on. So I'm like checking off a lot of positive boxes. The heart for Murata is there. She's definitely a girl that at the very least, I know she's going to give it absolute hell. Now, Vanessa Demopoulos is a really tough woman too, though. And she comes to fight Her jiu-jitsu game is pretty slick, like that armbar she caught Gomez Juarez, and she has a good grappling game. And her Muay Thai is not bad either. She's pretty athletic, obviously like a pole dancing background. So she's got really good athleticism. It's a real fucking thing. But Murata's short and like stocky and jacked and fast and strong, and she's going to beat her up for 3 rounds probably. I'm going to go the side of Murata to win, Mike. What do you think? You on the same one?
Murata's a pressuring southpaw. It'll be hard for Vanessa to kickbox with her. I think she will back Vanessa up, but she likes to take these women down, and she goes right into guard when she does it, and she has relatively short arms, so she gets away with leaving her arms extended in the guard. And if you look at anybody who leaves their arms extended in Vanessa Demopoulos' guard, they end up with her hips directly behind the bend of their elbow, and they're usually tapping or getting their arms broken. So the way these two match up, I do believe that Murata is the smarter pick here overall. But Vanessa Demopoulos has been broadcasting pro grappling for a couple of years now. She's very familiar with what the highest level grappling in the world looks like, and she has already shown a really wicked armbar. And I've seen Murata get snatched up in an armbar outside of the UFC against Emily Ducote, and she did it multiple times. I mean, Emily would get into the armbar, kind of miss it, get into it again. The way she's leaving her hands extended, I'd be nervous to bet on her. Give me Vanessa Demopoulos with a comeback armbar.
Comeback armbar. Mike against the grain Finch absolutely riles me up for this. Whoa. Hey, I respect it, my friend. Minus 370 for Murata, and then Demopoulos at plus 305. Listen, bro, I honestly think Murata's going to look dominant here, but I respect you throwing the sub side down.
Give me the sub prop. I'm interested.
Plus 800, bro. Plus 800.
I might touch that.
It's not a crazy touch.
Yeah, just a slight touch, just for fun, just to root for a fight and have some fun. Because I think Vanessa Demopoulos, her number one way she would win this fight is that armbar.
Listen, that armbar of hers is legit. Absolutely legit. I just feel like Murata is going to be so strong. Like, I feel like it's going to be hard for her to finish it. Could put her in the position, but finish it, I don't know. We'll see, man. I like the call, though, Finch. I like the underdog attack. I am going with the fairly large favorite in Murata to win this.
Murata's good.
She is.
Murata's good. She's got good takedowns. I wonder if she will take her down. The smartest thing Murata could do, use her wrestling defensively, keep this thing kickboxing and in the clinch. I think she'll do fine there. As soon as she takes Vanessa down, I'll be interested.
Let's go. Let's keep running up, my man. Next fight on the card, we got Johnny Munoz Jr. versus Aoriqileng. Honestly, man, when I saw this, I sat on the matchup for a bit, and obviously, like, you go back and watch a couple of the recent fights. But the thing with Aoriqileng, the ultimate difference maker here is I think he has fight-stopping power. I don't think Johnny Munoz has that same option. And then when I look at Munoz's grappling, I'd say he's got decent takedowns in certain matchups, but Quilong's pretty athletic and strong, and he's not a bad wrestler either. And he hits hard. Like, I know it's not like in the UFC, he's knocking everybody out left and right, but I think he could put Johnny Munoz Jr. to bed. I'm not writing off Aoriqileng. I picked against Quilong with the Zahabi fight. I'm going to be picking Quilong this time out. I think he can hurt Johnny Munoz. I think there's more of a chance of a finish from him. I'm going to Aori. I think I'm going to call knockout, Finch. I might be going wild, after
round
the
one?
off week, maybe round 2.
Maybe round 2, but
Don't give me a round. The round's tricky, man.
AJ, does Quilong not gas? I mean, I think he gasses by round 2 and round 3 with the pace that a Johnny Munoz Jr. keeps up. And I think Johnny Munoz Jr. is definitely, superior cardio-wise, superior output, a better grappler. I think Johnny Munoz Jr. is going to be able to grind on him, man. I think Aoriqileng, like AJ said, though, has a lot more power and for sure will be dangerous in the first round. So if you're thinking first round KO, that's interesting. But I think by the second and third, he's going to be gasping for air, and it'll be Munoz Jr. keeping a high pace. Give me Munoz Jr. decision.
Mike Finch going Munoz, man. I knew this car was going to be like Landmine City. I knew it was going to be all over the place, different calls, As far as the odds for it, man, you're looking at even money, and I think for good reason, because you could flip a coin and pick this one.
Yeah, come on, man. This is a great fight. Munoz Jr. Is much more likely with the decision. I would be surprised if he got out kickboxed for 3 rounds with Aoriqileng. He's more of an MMA fighter.
Mike Finch on Munoz Jr. -110. I'm going Aori -110. We got even money. The knockout prop for Aori sits at +245, which doesn't overly call my name. I won't lie to you. Munoz by a decision, though. Finch, your side is +325 with an over at -110 as well.
Damn, I'm picking some fucking doggy dogs, huh? I didn't quite
Listen.
realize how wide these were.
Well, it's an
Oh.
even money line. The prop is
Good.
very wide, though.
Good. I like it. All right.
Cool.
Even money line, and yeah, I think his most likely way to win would be decision. Although Munoz Jr. likes to submit people, it's possible. Submission's possible. Money line it, folks. Munoz Jr. money line. That's the tree I'll die on. Come get me.
Mike Finch, the fucking Mac, bringing his fire for Munoz. Let's keep running up. Next fight, we got Chris Gutierrez versus Montel Jackson. Mike Finch, I'm picking Chris Gutierrez in this fight.
Damn! Oh, we are all over this card.
We're all over. I knew that this is the craziest card back. I know. And after an off week, who knows? We're gonna see. I'll tell you something. The reason I'm picking Gutierrez is because I think the leg kick can be in a very effective strike in this fight here with Jackson, a bit of a wide stance. Now, Montel Jackson is quite fast, so his nickname Quick kind of fits him. He showed a lot of power last time against Ronnie Yaya, but that's what you should do against a Yaya. Whereas Chris Gutierrez on the other side, I mean, he was a big favorite heading into the Pedro Munoz fight, and now it's interesting to see him as a dog after losing to, a proven top contender in Pedro Munoz. I guess if Montel Jackson is able to win this, it's just sky's the limit. Big fights right away after this one. I think that Chris Gutierrez kickboxing is a problem. Now, something I don't like is Montel Jackson does have a fairly significant reach advantage, and he does work a decent jab, something you could be touching Gutierrez up from the outside with. So I don't think this is an easy matchup for Gutierrez. I see it as a bit of a back and forth, and I think competitive moments for sure. I feel like Gutierrez, though, is going to find a lot of nice leg kicks. I do think he's the more powerful striker, and I feel as though his style is going to work well enough to evade potential grappling onslaught. Because I think Montel Jackson will be getting touched up a bit in the kickboxing department, and then he's going to look to close the gap. Now, normally he's very strong inside. He has good clinch pressure and control. I think Gutierrez will be tricky to deal with, man. I'm going to go Gutierrez. I think he can win it knockout or decision if you're talking about the real pick. I feel like there's a little moment where Montel Jackson is hittable as he's coming inside after he throws a strike. I don't know. The chin just seems to be there a little bit. Could Gutierrez throw a counter hook at him on the inside? Maybe, even though Gutierrez, out of his striking, if you told me what's his best aspect, I'd say his kicking skill set and movement over his hands.
Man, that's a beautiful breakdown. You really got me thinking that Chris Gutierrez is going to win this fight. You're right. He looked really good until the Pedro Munoz fight. He was on the up and up. Montel Jackson's been on a nice streak.
He is.
I'm not as impressed with the resume of Montel Jackson as Chris Gutierrez. He old Frankie Edgar, but still he was up against decent competition. Very tough fight for me to pick. I mean, is this one you'd like to bet on? I guess you're on the dog, so that does make it a little sweeter. Yeah. For me, I see this as one of those coin flips, as you say.
It is. No, regardless, it is a very competitive fight, and I understand a Montel Jackson argument. I think Montel Jackson is good for sure.
Yeah, I'll go Montel Jackson.
When I look at the betting, though, I do think Gutierrez is very, very, very live underdog.
Yeah. How fat, too.
What are we sitting at? Let's see where we're at right now.
Currently, Montel at -190.
Yeah, -190, -185 range. Montel. Gutierrez around +160 as the underdog here, my man.
You're not crazy. 50-50 fight. I must tell the folks at home, my initial pick was Montel Jackson. I do think he's a good MMA fighter, and he could beat Gutierrez up in the clinch. And even on the outside, I think Gutierrez has good hands, but I think Montel Jackson can grind this thing out to a decision. So my initial thought was Montel Jackson decision.
Let's go. Mike Finch, I respect the side. We got a dono in chat. Nick Couture, my guy, throwing $9.99. Thank you, bro. Throw Grant Dawson on all your parlays. 12 winning week strong list, and I think Grant Dawson is a tremendous pick. I do, and we'll get to that breakdown in a little while. I like the call.
Thank you very much. I like the Grant Dawson call as well. I was talking to my friend Marcel, and I told him I like the Furies and Grant Dawson. I did a little parlay that I pulled up. I'm not sure I actually pulled the trigger, so let's say I didn't, but it was Tyson Fury, Tommy Fury, and Grant Dawson. That's a nice little trio right there. I'm not opposed to it.
I like that. I like
Did I
that.
just give
trio.
away the main event pick. Damn it.
Listen, at the end of the day, Grant Dawson, very respectable call, my guy. We appreciate you, Dono, my brother. Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. Thank you, bro. Let's go. Mike, I like the craziness of this card because there's gonna be matchups that are all over the damn place. Somebody in chat just said fights off, AJ. What? Let's see here. No. Not possible.
It's up on Tapology.
Yeah, what do you don't troll me like that. No.
How dare they?
That's
Is Joe Rogan dead? Is that what you're also going to tell us? I've seen the fucking YouTube chat rooms, okay? I know these tricks.
Still up on Tapology. I'll click on Twitter. Now you got me fucking worried. I'm feeling anxiety now. Let me see something. Now I got to fucking see because it'll come right up. I don't
Good.
see none.
Because I didn't like my pick anyway. Shit. AJ pitched a beautiful pitch for Gutierrez. I'm like, you know what? I was kind of on the Gutierrez train until that Pedro Munoz fight.
That's what I'm thinking. Like a lot of people is, I don't know. It doesn't
kind of jumped.
Everybody's jumping ship. Y'all tell you something, Mike. When I was digging at Montel,
I should have jumped off ship on the. I like Fiallo, and then he just not very well-rounded martial artist. You know, it's happened with people. Cutelaba. You know, so some of these guys are hot and cold, as I said earlier. So Gutierrez is not that though. I mean, one loss at the top. Gutierrez is pretty good, and if this fight's off, maybe it just help me out.
Let's see. Let's keep running up the card. Next fight on it, the ladies going after it. It's Karolina Kowalkiewicz versus Diana Belbiţă. It's also our featured prelim. And I really look forward to this fight, man. I am on Diana Belbiţă's side to beat Karolina. Now, she's significantly younger, but with that, she also has a size advantage. She's going to be about 4 inches taller. She's going to have a bit of a reach advantage. I feel as though at times Belbiţă's definitely shown to be a slightly flawed fighter. But she's 27. Kowalkiewicz, to me, at one point, I thought she had retired after the loser. I thought she wasn't coming back. And now she's fought her way back to a nice 3-fight win streak. But to be reasonable and fair here, when you look at the opposition in this 3-fight win streak, Felice Herrig, Silvana Gomez-Juarez, and then Vanessa Demopoulos, who is, you know, that's the biggest win of the 3. Diana Belbiţă, now I'm not saying she's fighting straight killers out there. The Maria Oliveira win last time. She lost to Gloria DiPaolo, who's no longer with the promotion. And then her last 3, Hannah Goldie win as well. So I get the concern, the relative concern for the side of, Diana Belbiţă, but she's still a young, blossoming fighter. Kowalkiewicz is hittable, dude. And I think Belbiţă rips some hard straights. I think Kowalkiewicz is going to look to set up clinch work. I think she's really going to try to get this fight to the ground. It's about Belbiţă's takedown resistance and her ability to avoid, damage from bottom, but actually, work back up to the fucking feet. So I think Belbiţă is going to do it. I think she's going to get back up on her feet. I'm picking Belbiţă, Mike Finch.
Yeah, I could see Belbiţă winning this fight. She did get some takedowns against Oliveira, and those were key, and she likes to move forward too. Her striking's not beautiful, man. I could see a world where Karolina steals rounds. Another one that's a tough pick. So, Karolina's in this fight, but you're right. I mean, Sylvia Juarez Gomez. Am I saying her name right? Silviana Juarez Gomez. These are not elite level females, and Belbiţă is higher level. Belbiţă is going to be a tough test. Belbiţă, I like her in the clinch, though. So I do think Karolina will have a lot of trouble in the clinch, and Belbiţă could beat her on the feet, but it'll be competitive, AJ. I don't know. Do you like a bet on Belbiţă?
Well, odds-wise, it's relatively interesting. Plus 143 for Belbiţă, and then it's minus 163 for Kowalkiewicz. So betting-wise, you're getting a little plus money action on the Belbiţă side, who's taller, younger, longer. it's not a horrible idea. It's just, can she win at a decent tier level against Kowalkiewicz, who at one point was an extremely top tier contender?
Yeah, and probably better than ever. I mean, I don't think I think she's gotten better with her experience. So it'll be an interesting test. It's really a test of where is Belbiţă at, and she's probably in for a good fight. I think these ladies will make it close.
Yeah, I think so. Competitive fight, hard 3 rounds. I'm saying that we got Belbiţă for the W. Both of us going with the Belbiţă side in the featured prelim. And now it's time to get excited. It's time to get amped up. It's the fucking main card. Let's jump to it. Starting it off, we got Bill Algeo versus Alex Hernandez. And also, guys, if you're watching and enjoying, whether live or on replay, we got mad love for you. Smash that like button. And if you're new, subscribe to the channel. All right, fight right here. Bill Algeo. Let me tell you why I'm picking him, Mike Finch, because he got more dog in him, son. He's got more dog in him, son.
You've never said that about anybody before, that he's got more of a dog in him?
First ever, Mike Finch. This is the first time I've ever used those words in a sentence. I think that Bill Algeo is going to be difficult for Alexander Hernandez to deal with. The pressure onslaught from Algeo, specifically in the second or third. And also note something with Hernandez that I don't like. Him at 145. I think that this is going to be a really difficult weight cut. And to fight a high output volume guy like Algeo, who's also very durable, I think Algeo's in this thing. I think that Hernandez, unfortunately, he's like a tweener in the weight classes where, you know, it's like he's a small 55er, but it's a really hard cut to 45 because he carries a lot of muscle on him. Algeo's kind of like that long, awkward style that I think can give him fits, man. So I'm going Bill Algeo to get it done.
I'm going Bill Algeo confidently as well, but I must say it's not because of the dog, because I do believe there's also a dog in Alex Hernandez. The difference here, I think, is Bill Algeo's jiu-jitsu is nice. Bill Algeo could probably get this thing down to the floor, and if Money Moicano was able to submit Alex Hernandez, I think Bill Algeo can too, man. He's tough. He's got cardio. You know, he might not be as strong as Alex Hernandez, but I do think he's a better martial artist. I like Bill Algeo in this one a lot, AJ.
Bill Algeo a lot. By Mike and I both were riding that side of him to get it done over Alex Hernandez. Now, as far as the betting lines, you're in a very good spot, bro. Minus 130, Algeo, plus 110. Hernandez, playable betting lines, absolutely. Algeo to win the fight by a decision is plus 215 as well, but submission, plus 300. And Mike, something whispered to me when I did yesterday's breakdown, rear naked strangle. I heard it in John Danaher's voice, rear naked strangle, you know, and I just saw it. I saw it. So I'm thinking that Hernandez tired in the second, late in the second, and then into the third, back taken, and I think Algeo could strangle him.
Yeah, I think so too. I think submissions most likely. Money line it though, because this thing could go all rounds, and those odds are sweet.
Yeah. Those odds are sweet. Close money. Algeo's been crushing it too, man. Like when I look at Bill Algeo, it's like he's one of those like underrated savages in the game that you occasionally come across. Because you look at some of the performances and wins, right? Let's dig into the last few. Algeo's coming off of a win over TJ Brown by submission. Listen, TJ Brown maybe skill set wise is not the top tier, but he's very fucking strong. He can grapple and he's really tough. Split decision loss to Andre Fili, and Fili's very good. He gave Nathaniel Wood hell last time out, and a lot of people thought he won. Herbert Burns, Algeo absolutely destroyed the, you know, masterful jiu-jitsu because, you know, Herbert Burns gassed out. Dominated Joe Anderson Brito as well. So there's some good wins for the side of Algeo at featherweight. And then when I look, I think that the side of Hernandez, like I say, his best work is up a weight class, man. His best work is up a weight class. Biggest win of his career, obviously Benny Dariush in his debut, but also OAM. He beat Oliver Abin Mercier, but that's back in 2018. And he's kind of been on and off since then. And if you look, I mean, a lot of losses, he's getting finished. What has he got? 3 losses by knockout, 1 sub loss, 2 decision. I think Algeo could sub him up.
Yeah, I got Algeo submission as well. Again, guys, no reason to bet the submission. If you want to bet on this one, Moneyline is such a clear pathway. And, Alex Hernandez dropping a weight class, it's not always the response, right? When you have trouble, especially around those light ones, 170, 155, 145, there's always talent underneath you. I think, sometimes it's made sense in the past for some of the bigger guys where the weight classes are so, apart. It's going to be easier to win at 85 than 205, for instance, because of that huge weight difference. But moving from 55 to 45, they're fantastic at 145. Look no further than Alex Volkanovski to see the skill level.
Absolutely. Fact, bro. And Nick Couture dropped the Sedona in chat, $9.99. Dawson, Pyfer, Buckley, plus 120. Lock it up, boys. Nick Couture, I like where your head's at with that one, and we appreciate the $9.99, my friend.
Thank you, brother. Look at you previewing before we dropped those picks. He just wanted to let us know I was already thinking the same thing.
Let's go. Let's go, Nick Couture. Thank you, my guy. Fuck yeah. Listen, Mike, I'm glad we're on the same side, the Algeo side, to get things done here. Let's keep running up. Next fight on the card, we got Philipe Lins versus Ion Cutelaba. Listen, Philipe Lins was so underwhelming against Maxime Grishan. I thought about shit. Lins is on the card. Do I got to bring a pillow with me, a neck pillow for his fight?
Whoa, that bad?
No, I'm fucking with him. I like Lins, though. Don't get me wrong. I've picked Lins a lot in the past. I think that Philipe Lins has got some good boxing from the outside. He can kickbox. He also can control against the cage with pressure. But he's dealing with somebody on Cutelaba's side who's young, hungry, and still has some absolute violent pit bull bite. He hits really hard. He can wrestle his ass off. And I think that he could put a high pace on the older Philipe Lins and knock him out. I'm going to go Cutelaba by KO, Finch.
Woo! Damn, interesting fight, man. When Lins fights some of those older guys, when he's standing across from OSP, letting his hands go, you think, damn, Lins is very capable. He's a good striker. He moves his head a little bit. He's got power. Until he fights... Maybe it's a Cutelaba, until he fights some of these guys who have the same speed or better speed, who are at a high level and in their prime. That's when we see him not look his best. And I do think Cutelaba brings a hell of a fire, man. Look, if Cutelaba is going to stay in the middle of those, in the middle of that division, he needs this Philipe Lins win. I'll say he does it.
I like it. I'm glad you're on the same side, but I get you didn't seem like, yeah, that's the one to go bet on. Because we know sometimes Cutelaba, he has moments of lapse in these fights, man, especially these big fights.
I've liked Cutelaba a lot and sometimes live to pay for it, Yeah. I think it's a perfectly matched fight. I do think there's a risk that Lins, gets in a firefight, boxing it out with Cutelaba and puts a shot on him. But I'll trust Extreme Couture. I believe in that, that momentum is real, and Sean Strickland getting a win for the gym really has pumped some energy into these guys. I believe that, Cutelaba is definitely live to win this fight, and so I'll go with him. I'm certainly rooting for him.
Absolutely. Me as well, brother. Got to bring up Gabe Gordon for the $9.99. Thanks for all the picks, my brother. We appreciate you, Gabe Gordon. Thank you for the dono. Fuck yeah. The generosity has been immaculate tonight.
Yeah, thank you guys. Really appreciate you guys. Are you excited to have some fist fights back?
Yeah.
What? You and your dog kicking it hasn't been entertaining enough? We got you here on the money line, and we're happy you're here.
Let's fucking go. I can't fucking wait, Mike Finch. Let's keep running, though. We got more to talk about. We got the next fight on the card. We have Drew Dober versus Ricky Glenn. And you know what? This one's interesting to me. Now, I'm picking the side of Drew Dober, but both these guys 4 months ago are coming off losses where they were KO'd and they had not been knocked out in a very long time. For Rick Glenn, first ever pro KO loss. For Dober, just his second as a professional and first time inside of the octagon. Now, we've seen Drew Dober hurt in fights before. We've also seen him weather dangerous storms. I'm picking Drew Dober to win, but I'll tell you something. When I looked at those betting odds, I said, steer the fuck clear.
Agreed.
Steer the fuck clear. What is he? Drew Doberov?
Minus
will he come from
400,
Chechnya? What the fuck is going on? What? Minus 400. Dober right now in this fight,
Oh,
He should
shit.
be minus 220, minus 200, minus 180. I don't even, you want to push it minus 275, but Ricky Glenn can still fight. He got caught by Christos Yagos. The fight before that, he's got a draw with the guy who's in the main event. And that counts for something.
It does, but Ricky Glenn is not fast and athletic, which seems to be something that Drew Dober struggles with. He was dropped by Bobby Green, and we've seen Drew Dober get smushed by Islam Makhachev, but those guys are pretty good, and Drew Dober has good takedowns, and we've seen Ricky Glenn end up on bottom. I mean, I remember I used to do commentary for the XFO, so I've seen Adam Ward fight. When I first saw Adam Ward fight Ricky Glenn and Adam was taking him down at will, it really shows me, man, Drew Dober's going to be able to do something similar like that. At least I think so. So, Lance Palmer took Ricky Glenn down. I think Dober on top is a beast. So give me Drew Dober. He might get a submission. It might be a decision, but at those odds, it's not something I'm running to the box office for, right?
Unfortunately, yeah, I agree. KZ just dropped us 125 NIO. Hey, we appreciate the 125 NIO.
Thank you.
Cutelaba via screaming at his opponent during the weigh-in face-off, only to get finished in the first round. Damn, son. I don't think he's going to finish in the first round this fight. I don't know. When I look at Philipe Lins, it's not it, man. It's not it. I think that this is going to be this Cutelaba showcase coming, Finch.
First off, KZ, thank you for recognizing the stock value, the entertainment value that we get from Cutelaba. It is badass when he makes every fight personal. This dude is full of emotions. He wants to hurt somebody, and he fights emotionally. And sometimes that emotional roller coaster ends up on the downside, and he's on the wrong end of momentum. But he creates that momentum himself. He raises the stakes of each fight, and that's what makes this shit fun, right? Only to get finished in round one. I don't know. We'll see what Philipe Lins shows up. If it's the Lins, who came out there letting his hands go in against OSP, super confident, that could be a victory for him. But we think Cutelaba might bounce back on this one, man. You got to admit it's a winnable fight for Ian.
I think so, man. I think so. 100%. I think he's going to do his thing, brother. I think he's going to smash the guy. Easy money. Smash the guy. Listen, this one here, we're going Dober. Let's bring up the odds before I go Hamzat mode. It is what? Minus 400 for the side of Drew Dober. And then Rick Glenn sitting at plus 300 as the dog and Finch. I just noticed something. I didn't bring up the odds for the Cutelaba fight, man. We got too sidetracked talking about the matchup.
Yeah, we need these odds, AJ. It was pretty even.
The odds, yeah. Let me bring up the odds in a second. Let's just finish this one, then I'll go backwards for a second. All right, so here, Ricky Glenn is plus 300 as a dog, which is oversized wide. Minus 400 for Dober. Dober inside distance, minus 175. KO is also at minus 175. Sub is plus 1,200, though, Finch.
Wow. That's interesting. I mean, Drew Dober sub is pretty live.
I don't know. I doubt Drew Dober's sub game.
Drew Dober on top is a beast. I think in this fight, he could definitely grab a submission, but Drew Dober decision will be the official prediction.
I like it. I like it, Finch. I like it. All right, let me just jog on back because my mouth is moving faster than my mind here, and we didn't cover the odds for this fight. What am I doing? It's the money line, and I'm not going to give you the odds, and it's just the fucking funny line over here. Minus 145, Cutelaba, Lins plus 125 with a Cutelaba KO at plus 130. And the over 1.5 or under is minus 115 on both ends.
Got you. Yeah, I'm not running the bet on some of these fights that I think will be closer. We gave you guys a couple we were more confident in. Like, this is a good fight. This is one of the fights where I'm like, good matchmaking. I'm excited to see it.
Agreed. Let's keep running up. Let's jump to the featured bout of the night. It's Joaquin Buckley versus Alex Morono, and what I think is going to be a pretty damn good scrap. Two dangerous guys on both sides. Buckley's power is more real, right? In this fight, it's more evident. I think he has more of a knockout ability. His head kick specifically fighting against Morono. Buckley being a southpaw, I see him threatening with high kicks. He's coming off of a high kick knockout win over Andre Fialho, and then Morono's coming off of a guillotine choke win over Tim Means. So, I guess the Tim Means win now looks bigger and better.
It aged nicely.
Right?
I was going to say that win aged very nicely, didn't it?
It did. I think Buckley in this fight is definitely more explosive, and I think he's live for a knockout win. When I think of Morono's style, I think of nice looping shots. He hits with some pop, but he's not a thud knockout puncher. I think Buckley's going to be able to walk through Morono's punches and land the harder shots. So I feel as though Buckley by knockout is quite live here. I'm going Buckley KO, maybe high kick.
Yeah, look, they're both coming off of really important wins, but I do think this thing will take place on the feet, and I like Buckley doing it with his legs. The head kick over Fialho's nasty. He's definitely more explosive, and he'll be the guy, I believe, to take 2 out of 3 rounds here. If anybody puts anybody away, you got to think it's Buckley too. Also the more dangerous guy, and he can sustain it long enough against Alex Morono. Alex looked really good against Tim Means. I mean, that's a big win. And seeing how Tim, broke down Fialho, you got to appreciate it. Tim's not done. Submitting him's pretty badass, but Buckley, I think he'll be stuck on the feet with, and that'll be a bad deal for him. Good fight.
Good fight for sure. Agreed with my guy Finch. We're going Buckley for the win. Betting lines, though, for this fight have Buckley as a -200 favorite with Morono as a +170 underdog. Don't think the lines are crazy here. Buckley to win the fight by KO, my official prediction, sits at just +100.
Damn. The bookies like him more than I thought. I'd expect this to be another one of those even odd fights. So, but I guess we're both on him.
I got to bring up this funny one. Daniel Covert says, $2. Is Finch okay? Chad has noticed the hospital gown.
Bro, look at how fucking beautiful. These guys just don't know how to dress nice. You see, he's dressed as a mountain in his picture. What is that? Some artwork? This is how you actually dress a human body right here. This is me. I wore the tank top. They didn't like it. You wear a nice shirt. They don't like it. I'm healthy.
Good to hear, Finch. Thank you, Covert, for the $2, and we appreciate you busting Finch's balls. He always appreciates it too.
Thank you, Covert. Covert's active. We appreciate everybody.
Yeah, we always appreciate our guy Covert. Listen, Buckley is gonna be the call. I think the high kick something, bro. I'm seeing the high kick. I think it's gonna get through the guard and knock Morono out.
Yeah, I think he's a much more powerful guy, and I think Morono is going to be stuck on the feet with him, man. If Morono can get in there and make it dirty, but not the faster guy, not the more explosive guy. I think that's going to matter, man. And they're in the little cage.
They're in the fucking little cage. We got an Apex card, man. Another one.
Yeah, we're going Buckley.
Yeah. Buckley the call for both of us. Let's keep running. Co-main event time. It's Joe Pyfer, body bags, versus Abdul Razak Alhassan. Listen, I think Joe Pyfer is on a roll right now, coming up the ranks like a savage. I doubted him with Mearshart, and not only did he shut me up when he fucked him up in the cage, he beat him at his own game in grappling. So Joe Pyfer's skill set is very real. He's the larger man between him and Alhassan. Now, Abdul Razak Alhassan is still extremely heavy-handed, but I think he'll deal better with guys that don't have the athleticism or range fighting style like a Pyfer. I think that also the grappling threat is real from Pyfer, though Alhassan, relatively good takedown defense, so, at least matchup specific. I think that Pyfer can win this thing, dude. I think he's going to beat Alhassan, and I think he can beat him convincingly. I think he can put it on him. I think he could stop him. I think he could sleep him here.
I think so too, man. Joe Pyfer is better on the ground and so explosive on the feet, man. So I like that Pyfer's beaten Gerald Mearshart in grappling. He looked good doing it too, and very, very strong. It's going to be hard to manipulate him at all. And then on the feet, all the power. Come on, man. This is the Joe Pyfer show. You got to like throwing him in some parlays on this card.
Yeah, as do I, man. I like Joe Pyfer. He's coming up the ranks nicely. Abdul Razak Alhassan's a scary guy, heavy-handed. This is a good sophomore outing in the UFC for him. I think he can beat Alhassan where he's best, which is striking. And even though Alhassan's got the judo background, which, does really showcase with the explosiveness and the relatively good hips, I think Pyfer could end up getting on top of him and beating him up from the top position.
Yeah. I saw earlier that somebody asked in the chat for a safety parlay. You have to think about Joe Pyfer if you're looking at that.
Agreed. I think Joe Pyfer's winning this thing. Now, the odds, money line aren't great, but safety parlay-wise would be good. Minus 450 for Joe Pyfer with Alhassan is a plus 350 underdog. And the side of Pyfer to win the fight by a KO is minus 145. We going KO, Finch?
I think so, man. I think he's going to
Damn.
let his hands go. He's going to be in that little cage, so there's no getting away for Alhassan. Alhassan's probably going to oblige and strike with him a bit, and it'll be a nice highlight reel for Joe Pyfer. Got to say, that's got to be one of the most confident picks on the card without question.
Absolutely. Yeah.
It's the most confident pick on the card.
It's a confident call, man. I think Pyfer's going to run him over. I think he's faster on the feet. I see him beating the shit out of Alhassan. To be honest, I think it's going to be a pretty one-sided fight.
I hope it's a great highlight for him because he is one of those rising stars. I want to see him start moving up that division to make things exciting. I think Joe Rogan. I almost said Joe Rogan. I think Dana White bought him a house.
Yeah, I believe so.
Did that happen? Rented him a house or bought him a house?
I think maybe rented, but one of the two. He got him somewhere to live.
That's pretty awesome. That shows that, he feels like he owes the UFC something now, right?
Yeah.
Time to produce, Mr. Pyfer. Floor is yours.
Floor is yours. Pyfer, the call. We're picking him for the win. Let's keep running and let's jump to our main event of the evening. If you guys haven't yet, make sure you smash that like button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe it up. We got Grant Dawson versus Bobby Green. The pick is
We're taking one of the best grapplers we've seen in this sport in 2023. Grant Dawson really puts it together well. Look at that Mark O. Madsen performance. I mean, to say he ran him over is an understatement, and that's an Olympic wrestler. You got to think Grant Dawson is levels above Bobby Green, who looked like he was trapped inside, I don't know, it was a sea monster was holding him down. He was underneath a frickin' Hummer. He could not move at all when Islam Makhachev got his paws on him. So I think Grant Dawson's going to do the same thing. He'll hit this double leg takedown. He will snatch an early submission up. You got to like Grant Dawson as well.
Grant Dawson, I think takedown control. We got 5 rounds to work. I don't think it goes the full 5. I think Dawson's going to win this fight by submission. I could see a rear naked choke. I think the way he controlled his Magulov last time, his grappling skill set is legit, man.
Absolutely. And it's really high level for MMA. He understands how to hold people down pretty well. So it's the takedowns and it's the jiu-jitsu. I like the combination. I do think he gets the finish because of it.
Yeah, I think so too. I think we're going sub, we're going dominance, we're going Dawson. Now, as far as the betting lines, you're looking at something similar to Joe Pyfer. Minus 425 for Dawson with Bobby Green at plus 325 is the dog. Under 4.5 is minus 210 with a win by submission for Dawson sitting at plus 130. I think there is a high likelihood chance that he's getting a sub in this one, bro.
I think so too, because why stand there in front of Bobby Green?
Right.
I think Grant Dawson will have a sense of urgency to get it down to the mat. And what Bobby Green will need to do is nail him with a big shot, And when you're looking for a big shot, a lot of times you can't find it. It's a lot easier to knock somebody out when they are engaging with you. Strikers dream all the time of hitting the grappler as they come in, but really you're going to need good takedown defense to rely on before you start accumulating shots like that. I do think that Grant Dawson takes him down in the first clinch they have.
I think it's early takedowns, grappling onslaught. Covert in the chat says Dagestani wrestler, DAW for Dawson. I agree. I think his game out of all the non-Dagestanis would be the closest to what we see with Team Dagestan. He's a menace.
Mark Ritchie says, my Finch, Bobby gonna Bobby knuckle Dawson's chin with them low hands. Yes, he does keep the hands low, and he's very quick, which helps him a lot. But I do think it's going to take one moment, one penetration of that shot for Grant Dawson to get his hands clasped. And once he's there, he's got him. So the risk is there for sure. But come on, man. I do think Bobby Green is going to need more than a couple punches in this fight. He would need to defend takedowns on the fence. I think that's where he has trouble.
Agreed. Dana Blanco, he says, wow, he read a non-paid chat. That's funny as shit, man. That's funny.
I've been
They give
reading
you a
them
hard
more
time.
than AJ even, folks. Come on, man.
Finch has got you guys, man.
I
Finch
got you. Come on. Say so. Ask a good question. It'll be up here.
Listen, bro, it's just the chat sometimes moves fast. It's hard for me to talk to Finch and read the whole chat.
I do write notes too, folks. So sometimes I want to go look at my notes.
Yeah.
And then I'm also hanging out with AJ too. Do I have to read every comment? I guess so. I guess they're upset about that.
They're upset.
Every single dono we've read, and I think I've read 5 in the comments. We're doing our best.
Let's go. Listen, nothing but the best from the boys. Mike, it's time for us to bring fire, though, because we have the famous section next, the lock of the night section. Are you ready for it?
I'm ready. Let's do this.
Let's get into it. Moneyline, lock of the night section. And yeah, I did that on purpose. Don't think I was playing around.
I was on my pages. I didn't even see it. What did you do?
Listen. I can't speak. I'll tell you afterwards. Listen, Mike Finch, tell me the lock of the week, and then I'll tell you mine. The floor is yours, my friend.
Listen, folks, there's a lot of competitively matched fights on this card. There's 2 lopsided ones, and then there's just such a clear, where the odds are close, but I do think they should be wider, and that's Bill Algeo. I do believe my lock is going to hit this week because Bill Algeo is going to submit or at least be able to control Alex Hernandez on the ground. Good fight, as they all are. But as far as odds go, if you want something where it's tight odds, my favorite one in that category has to be Bill Algeo by a mile.
Listen, I'm not going to drop the minus 425, the minus 375. I think this week I owe it to the people because we're going for 7 in a row, I believe, this week. And obviously, it's a real fucking test. 7 in a row is no joke for the locks. But Bill Algeo is the name that I'm saying because he's a consistent performer with the dog in him. And I don't like Hernandez at 145. I think that Algeo is winning this thing with a grappling advantage. And I'm going to go Algeo too. Me and Mike Finch are doubling down on the same pick, the same lock. Let's ride Algeo at about minus 130 as the favorite as the lock this week. Let's go. Let's go.
Let's go. I think it makes sense, AJ. We delivered him a good one.
I think so too, man. I was on it before you said it. I was on it. But when we talked about it, I said, "Oh, Finch is on the same side." I think. Good. I had a feeling. I like it, Finch. I like it. Now,
my number 2, AJ disagreed with me with, but I'll do it for honorable mention. I think Johnny Munoz Jr. takes out Aoriqileng. I know some of you disagree, but I do think he's a better MMA fighter, better cardio, wins round 2 and round 3. But that's just an honorable mention, folks, because Bill Algeo with those odds, it looks like you got to touch it.
Yeah, I agree, man. I gotta read this chat here. Good thing you didn't lock Buckley, because you got 100 on Morono. Hey, Dana Blanco, good luck, bro. Good luck, my guy. Listen, I'm going for the side of who I'm feeling good about, Bill Algeo, and I'm glad to know that Mike Finch is on the same side. And we're about to get to the Parlay King section, the parlays.
All the competition that try to compete, stand back, watch the bomb drop.
Parlay time.
Open up your wallets and let's bet on some fist fights.
Mike Finch, you are the Mac of the parlays, and I know you're ready to bring some fire after an off week. So tell me, what are you thinking, my friend?
This is the most obvious parlay in Moneyline history. How could you not bet on the 2 biggest locks on the card? It's clearly got to be Joe Pyfer and Grant Dawson. These 2 guys are in positions where they are big favorites and they're set up to win these fights. I mean, the UFC does such a good job matchmaking, and that makes it hard to do what we do, which is pick these fights. But that's why you get sweet odds a lot in mixed martial arts. With these 2, if you want to bet them, you got to put it together. It's not the craziest parlay of all time, but it is the most obvious. It's Joe Pyfer and Grant Dawson.
Joe Pyfer, Grant Dawson. We're looking at lines ranging around minus 200 for that one. And granted, yeah, odds wise, maybe it's not the greatest thing ever, but the lock of the week is Algeo at near even. So yeah, I gotta just ride with the Finch on this one. I gotta tail his side for this show. I'll have more in-depth and riskier parlays to potentially play with this week's best MMA bets on Wednesday, which we'll get into. But I just feel like for this show, this is what I'm going to write. $100 parlay, $100 in your hand. Give me the 50 that I'm going to get for Pyfer and Dawson, because I'm looking to catch W's, man. And I know you are too.
Exactly. And the fans who hate the occasional, favorite pick, those fans generally don't make a lot of money. Sometimes when you are very confident and your confidence outweighs what the odds are, those can be the better bets you can make. And I just did it, recently over last weekend. We had some fights to watch. So, you can definitely make it happen with favorites too, especially when the favorites truly are that wide. And so I do believe in Joe Pyfer and I do believe in Grant Dawson. If you want to sweeten it up, we gave you a nice lock to look at.
Listen, you want to add another something in it that's not the lock? Dawson, Pyfer, Cutelaba at plus 155. I think has a high chance, man.
Holy
I think
shit.
Cutelaba's
in a fist fight, but I like it.
I like it. Listen, I don't know why I'm feeling Cutelaba's going to whoop his ass, man.
That would be dope. I'm rooting for him. That's what I want to see. I want to see crazy Cutelaba back.
Same. I want crazy Cutelaba getting it done, man. I agree. The Bob shitting on us. He says no savagery whatsoever with the minus 200. Listen.
The Bob, we got to make sure we are making money, folks. So if you bet a Bill Algeo line at even odds and you bet the parlay, I want you to have a really good shot at hitting both. I think those are the right picks right. I think a lock pick, if you're looking for straight money line, it's Bill Algeo this week. And I told you, AJ, maybe Johnny Munoz. Clearly, if you're gonna bet a parlay this week, it's got to include Joe Pyfer and Grant Dawson. If you added a third, you're a beast. Go for it.
Yeah, listen, if you're feeling that confidence, do it. We'll talk in depth with parlays, post weigh-ins, everything. We got a lot of shows this week. I'm back with the full slate of daily content. Dana Blanco said he'd be the first $200 dono for you, assuming that his call of Morono hits. Well, hopefully it happens. And
hopefully it happens then. Okay. All right. Now we're rooting for Morono. Now you gave us a reason.
That's great. That's great. Listen, I'm looking forward to a nice week's worth of content. After this one, you guys know the drill. I'm going to be doing the Contender Series prediction show, which that's always a pleasure. Then Contender Series live stream, everything you could ever imagine. It was interesting, right? I didn't do a fight companion this weekend. I rested up. Thank goodness that I got the UFC back. And you know what's good, though, is I think that the week after the UFC is off, we got Ngannou versus Fury, which I promise you guys, a fight companion has to be done for that, because that's a freak show fight that must be looked at.
Yeah, that definitely is. I mean, there's some times where they make these silly matchups that are cool. Come on, we got to see it. I wish it was Francis Ngannou versus Deontay Wilder. Is that not the right fight? Is that not the one that would be the most fun? But how can you miss either of these two fight in the ring together? I think Tyson Fury and Francis Ngannou is unmissable.
Agreed. Listen, Cenarius, don't worry. I doubt him. Pick flip, and we'll see post weigh-ins, though, of course. People, I appreciate you all tuning in. It's good to be back on the content flow. We're going to be bringing the heat every single day of the week. Much love to everybody in the chat. Much love to everybody watching, whether it's live or on replay. Smash those likes, and if you're new, subscribe, man, and stay tuned for the daily content, man. And we got the Bob dropping a dough now. Oh, shit.
Hey, thank you, Bob.
Give us the dog pick flip degeneracy parlay. Listen, if you want a dog in it, throw
Johnny
Gutierrez.
Munoz Jr. Go for it. Just tack them on and you'll get some sweet odds. Those will be nice. Joe Pyfer, Grant Dawson, throw Johnny Munoz Jr. Or we keep telling you, Bill Algeo, put all those four together. That's pretty degenerate to me.
What about Dawson, Pyfer, Gutierrez? You want a dog? How about that?
Oh, man. That's a good fight. That's a good fight.
Thank you guys, man. We appreciate the kind words. I see you.
I'll be over there at Bellator 300, AJ. I got to invite him out again. Come see you, boy. I'll be putting in a little bit of work and we'll be putting out content. So I know those of you who are addicted to the content are happy on AJ's channel. He's dropping it every day. I'm going to hook you up this weekend. Make sure you guys are tuned in at Mike Finch on YouTube, at Mike Finch MMA everywhere else. And I'll make sure you guys are entertained. We'll talk to Chris Cyborg. We'll talk to everybody.
Hey, let's go, Finch. Make sure you give him a follow, guys. We love and appreciate you all. It's time for us to head out of here, and we will see you all in the next one. Peace, everybody.